if she doesn't give you her number. Special guest here, OG, legend, YouTube legend, McQueen.
What's up, man?
Brother?
How you doing, brother?
All right, man.
Nice to see you in person finally, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming over, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're making people laugh like crazy right now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You too, bro.
Yeah,
you
man.
too. I mean, it's funny. I mean, like, I had just told you off camera, but yeah, man. Like, it's crazy how you DM me a couple days after, because 2 days prior to you DMing me, I was showing this girl this video of you with Churdleys, like, you know, doing a podcast and your satirical comedy, and like, obviously you're very serious when you deliver your punchlines and shit. So people are expecting for you to say something really serious, but then you hit them with some shit. And I showed the girl, and I didn't tell her that it was satirical.
Yeah.
And she got mad. And then I told her afterwards, I was like, you know, he's joking, right? And I was just like, it was more so just to show myself how, in real time, how genius what you do is. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I just think that's super dope, man, because it's not easy to be super funny in a room full of people who are trying to be serious, while also doing it in a serious way, if that makes sense. So I like that, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. How I learned about you was someone sent me a clip of you.
Okay.
And that's usually how, like, I get some of the collaboration ideas.
Okay.
Like, someone will send me a clip on DM, and they'll be like, yo, this guy's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you should collab with this dude.
Yeah.
Then it's just a luck of the draw. It's like, you know, does the other person also like my content?
Right.
And then when we talk, is there some, you know, chemistry there that we could create something?
Exactly,
together?
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really just like, online world is really just like the offline.
Yeah.
It's the same as anything.
Yeah.
But when I see you go up to women and talk, it reminds me so much of when I was in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was in New York, I would go get fashion models in the street.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In Soho on Spring and Broadway.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's in Manhattan, correct?
Manhattan.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Manhattan.
Yeah, I had been in New York a couple times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you LA.
Yeah,
That's a big city though, too. You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So basically, I would go like Monday through Friday, like 1 to 4 when they would have castings.
Okay.
Then I would go up to a model and be like, yo, you know, my name is Nima. I'm working at Cipriani or One Oak.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to take you out. What's your number? I'm gonna text you.
Yeah.
But when I see you doing it, I'm like, man, and we would call that day game. I don't know what LA guys call that, but in New York,
I just call it talking to you see? That's all. I just call it talking to man. Talking to
No, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Niggas just trying to get man, that's it. But in this sense, you know, I'm trying to make comedy out of it, you know? Yeah, but yeah.
I saw one, man, and I thought it was really creative where you took these boxing gloves and you told the girl, if she doesn't give you her number, you're gonna box her.
I'm gonna beat this yeah.
Was she really fucking?
Because, right,
she had
it's
a
like,
nice ass though, by the way.
Thank
She's
you.
pretty face,
yeah,
you know?
so I didn't get to knock that one down, but but listen to me though. What I will say, she did have nice ass, but I will say this, and I'm sure since you said you've done this before in New York, and I mean obviously you're obviously pimping, you know what I'm saying? So I believe you 100%. I'm sure you know that it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people come in and ask me, like, how are you able to just go and say that shit? It's like, you wouldn't be able to say that. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend anybody to go and tell a hey, if you don't give me your number, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like a lot of people can feel that, like, I'm not threatening when I say the certain things. Obviously, I get people mad. Like, I've gotten cans thrown in my head. I have gotten slapped.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. It's on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel.
That's real.
Yeah, for sure. Getting mad. You know, so because some people can't understand. It's just like, I'm sure you get it a lot too. Some people, when you're saying the punchlines you say in a serious way, some people might believe that you're serious. It's the same thing with me sometimes, but like the successes are because people can genuinely tell that I'm just not. You can't take this seriously. Who the is gonna be? Who the walks around the mall with boxing gloves and threatening? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of hard to. So it's like it kind of makes them interesting. And as crazy as it sounds, all these niggas sound the same.
Yeah.
Everyone's just, hey, yo, what's up, man? Whoop through a whoop. You know, what's your number? I think you, hey, yo, red shirt. You know what I'm saying? Just goofy shit that never works. Yeah. So it's like when a guy comes up with something funny, it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like once you can make a girl laugh, you're like halfway to getting her panties off.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
When I see a woman laugh a lot, I'm like, man, she wants it.
Exactly.
Right? You feel that
And they say that too. It's like, if you can make me laugh, it's pretty much over. And it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like the biggest guys, I noticed that a lot of guys, I don't know how you were in high school. But
I was a loser in high school.
Were you a class clown though?
I was.
So I bet a lot of bigger guys, but you're also about 6'3", I think. 6'2".
6'2", yeah.
Yeah, we're about the same height.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're a lot taller than I thought.
Oh, thank you, man.
No, what I'm saying, like, you know, I could imagine a lot of guys being scared of you.
Yeah.
Because they know that you could just make the whole class laugh at them.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of guys are more afraid of the comedians in many ways than to the tough meathead.
Yeah.
Because they know with the power of the word, we can just destroy them.
You're just done. You don't want to open that can. But I will say this. I don't think I got that intimidation until I became Mega McQueen.
Yeah.
When I was in high school and shit, even until like age 21, I was low-key a loser. Like, not a loser in the sense that I didn't have the potential. I just didn't know how to release the potential. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to get girls in high schoall. I didn't know how to talk to anybody. I only had one friend, really. I was just really like, I didn't really get haircuts. I wore dusty ass clothes. All I did was hoop and skateboard. Yeah. Like, I didn't know how to do any of this. And then it got to a point where I went to Arizona with my brother's friends from his army days. And I went to the club and I was like, I think 20. And these niggas used to get all the and we were just in the club and they were just getting for me, but I couldn't get it for myself. They were trying to tell me, yo, go up to the girl, say this. Go up to the girl, do this. And I would do it and I was getting rejected miserably. And this was the turning point for me, was that night, they saw that I was getting rejected. So they had some girl with big titties like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, come over here, Christy. For lack of better, I can't remember her name. Come over here. They put a shot between her titties and they put whipped cream on it. And they were like, McQueen, come over here. And they made me take the shot off of her titties. I took the shot off her titties. And I'm thinking like I said, I don't have any game at this point. Like I have no knowledge of how to do anything. No, when it comes to confidence at all.
You were 16?
20.
Oh, okay.
And so I took the shot and she's like dancing, they were recording. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I'm about to get some like,
yeah.
No, bro. Immediately after that, I was like, so you want to dance? She was like, look to the left. And the dude who like made that situation happen, she was like, I'm gonna go dance with him. And his name was Chris. I'm gonna go dance with Chris. And he saw that whole thing like happen right in front of him. And as she's walking over there, he's looking at me like, and to pretty much say like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta get your game up. Yeah. That to me was like, and my brother was with me, but he has a wife. So it's not like he could help me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I remember it was a long, quiet ride back home down to LA. And I just remember like, I was like, bro, when I get back to LA, I'm gonna figure out how to become confident, bro. It's time. Because that was the most fucking humiliating thing. The most humiliating, but the best thing that could have happened to me, you know? So.
And then what'd you do? You start, how do you come up with your jokes? Do you write?
Well, with the jokes, with the comedy part, I was always funny. I just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to say it with the amount of confidence that you need as a comedian, you know?
Yeah.
And so like when I learned how to like, what I did when I went back to LA is I learned how to, like I looked up books and I looked up like, you know, articles and communities of like how to become confident, you know? And they always say the best way to become confident is to learn how to talk to girls, because that's like the hardest thing as a young man to like overcome, you know, especially talking to girls in public. And for sure it was for me. So what I did was I just learned, and pretty much I took what I learned and I went to the mall every day in LA and I just approached for like 2 months straight, just getting rejected on purpose. Like with the intention of getting rejected so I can become numb to it. And then once I became numb to it, then obviously you get better at it because you don't really care what you say. You just say it. And then obviously girls detect that and then you start getting numbers and you gain confidence from, you know, getting numbers. And then obviously you get better over time. And then you start to realize, okay, damn, now I have confidence. Now I can go and do other shit. Now I can do stand-up. Now I can go and do YouTube videos. Now I can go and do this. Now I can walk into a room full of businessmen and like be able to hold my own. Yeah. And then I started to implement those things. And then obviously I had a degree and I was working in an IT job, which was trash. Yeah. But then I had gained like that new skill of confidence. So I was like, I see all these white boys on YouTube. No offense, brother. It's not funny at all. Okay, blowing the up, like not funny at all. And I'm like, oh my God, I know I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? Like if these niggas is doing this shit, getting millions of views, I know I'm way funnier than this, so I can do this shit too. Yeah. So, and I was tired of taking orders from the whites, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the cubicle, they come on over and looking on my shoulders, like, you know what I'm saying? Like not saying a word, like I can't even hear their footsteps, and I'm in the computer. It was just terrible, bro. Like, so I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. So then I was like, all right, let me use like this confidence to go and do something. So I made a YouTube channel. And I would go to the mall and film me talking to girls. You know what I'm saying? I would get my homie and like we would just go and I would walk inside around the mall just talking to saying funny shit, saying controversial shit, and then getting their number. And then like I maybe did like 10 or 15 videos. And I think around the 14th one, nothing was getting picked up. And I remember I was in the garage with my mom. And I was kind of sad. I wasn't about to give up, but I was just like, man, like I know I'm way funnier than all these guys, and I know what I have to bring to the table is funny. Like, why am my shit not blowing up? And then she was like, watch, it's gonna happen when you least expect it. And the next morning I was in my cubicle, and the video I had posted the night before, I was in my cubicle just fixing computers and shit, and my phone just started blowing up. And it was like, this person subscribed to you, this person subscribed to you, this person subscribed to you. And I was like, what the f***, where's this coming from? And I saw that World Star had reposted my YouTube video, and I gained 5,000 subscribers in one night. So from there, I was like, oh my God, like it's over. And then I quit that job, and I worked at Starbucks part-time so I can do YouTube more often. And then once I made enough money on YouTube, I just like left that shit. And,
fuck, man.
Yeah,
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. The World Star Club.
Yeah. Is that how you got started too? Or?
I got 2 videos in World Star.
Oh, really?
And to me, that was something that I knew before I ever got any videos made.
Yeah.
Like for a New Yorker, you know, looking at World Star was like, that was the coolest website.
Yeah.
So I remember they even offered me like maybe $50.
Oh, really?
For the video to use it on on Instagram, and I was like, nah, man, I'll pay you guys if you just let me be like your collaborator.
Yeah.
Because they got like 30 million or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you don't have to pay us. I was like, I don't want your money. Mm-hmm. And then they did a collaborator post, and that was like really like a prestige. I know what you mean. The World Star is like that's like a prestigious, if you really, you know. If
you're on there, you essentially made it in the internet world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, well, at least you got a jump start, you know? So, yeah. That's how I felt, you know? I was like, man, I have an opportunity now. I need to capitalize on this shit, you know?
Well, you got 1 million subscribers, man. You got that in about a year? 2 years?
No, hell no. It's been 7 years since I've done this. I started when I was 23. I'm 30 now, so.
Dang, bro. You've been putting in that work.
Yeah, man. That's the only way I've figured out to get where I want to get, you know? Nothing was handed to me.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there was a lot of times where I wanted things to come a lot faster than it did, because you see a lot of other people, you know, doing less work and getting further than you, but you also see those same people not having as high of a calling as you. And I think that just comes with time and experience and patience and understanding that like you need to just only focus on you and beat the person you were yesterday, and stop comparing yourself and trust in God. You know, I mean, I believe in God.
Yeah, me too.
So, and just, you know, so it took a lot of experience and time for me to get to the mental place and fortitude that I have now to like think that way. But the only way I figured out there's no way around, you know, there's no shortcuts. You can take shortcuts, but it's really gonna hurt you, at least in my journey. The thing that I found the most is just hard work and patience. And that's how I've gotten where I've gotten, you know, so.
I never got to 1 million followers, man. I got up to close to 800,000.
Oh, really? On YouTube?
On TikTok.
On TikTok, okay.
And I got kicked off.
Wow. Oh, that's so weak, man. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
TikTok is so, bro, man, all these new platforms are so soft. Yeah, I am on TikTok.
But getting 1 million is very, like, that's respect, bro.
Thank you, man.
Especially on YouTube. I think that's like the hardest.
Yeah.
That's like real hard. And you do long format too, bro. You go hard.
Yeah.
Like you're doing like these long, and it doesn't even seem like you got much special effects. You're just like raw comedic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like real respect, bro.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I never talk to anybody, so I never hear it from the outside perspective. I'm always just inside the house working on my videos.
Yeah. So what happened with that girl, the shorter one with the fat ass, when you told her about the boxing? What happened after you were done filming?
Oh, so I mean, obviously I had got her number. I never tell the girls that I'm filming them. I never tell them. Because it's like, you know, you can sit there and say what you want. Oh, that's up. I don't really give a
Yeah. Did she know later you were filming her?
Yeah, because she saw herself on Instagram and YouTube. So.
Oh, she texted you?
No, she commented in the comment section. Oh. And then my fans were DMing me like, "Yo, is this the girl?" I was like, "Yeah," but I didn't respond to her. But she never said anything about it because obviously I never got the chance to really fuck her, so we didn't really get that foreign conversation. But I got her number, and then sometimes I'll just tell my camera because I'm mic'd up, so I'll just tell my cameraman if he wants to continue talking, I'll just be like, "Yo, hey, just meet me around the corner. I'm gonna go talk to this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we went and talked, and we had like the little, they have like that little smoothie spot in the corner. So we went and got smoothie together and shit.
Yeah, smoothie with her?
Yeah, smoothie.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
bro.
And I was posted up with her, and then we had set up a date. It never happened though. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened.
Nice,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Well, it's interesting how you talk about like the confidence between like women and then also business.
Yeah.
You think about it, it's also true for like wealth creation.
Yeah.
You know, wealth is really just financial maintenance.
Right.
Not wasting your money on pointless things.
Right.
You know, for example, a true alpha would never go all out on the first date.
Right.
I once blew $4,000 out with a beautiful woman in one night a while back.
First date?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she had the best rack of tits in New York City. Turned out they were fake. And I learned that later that night when I learned that she had a penis.
So she had a cock, huh? After you spent 4 bands.
And that was, and you know, I can't ever get that money back.
Yeah.
So I waited until I got rich, and then I sued her for my losses. And the case is currently ongoing. And that's actually Alpha King rule number 501. Never spend too much money on a you just met.
That's facts. That's facts. I was like, I know it's coming.
McQueen was going along with it, man. McQueen, man.
It's like, stay away from the trannies, man.
McQueen, man. McQueen. You know, it's some crazy stuff, man. I just ordered some food for us on Uber Eats, Pura Vida.
Yeah.
And Pura Vida in the Design District. And I contact Pura Vida, and they're like, the food was delivered. It was completed. And then they went and they checked their team, and they're saying the food was delivered. That's some crazy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because we never got our acai bowls.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I want my acai bowl.
I ain't gonna lie, I would like a acai bowl too. So.
Yeah, man. Like,
an acai bowl would be nice around now, but
you know up my concentration, man. Actually said, and then the said, contact Uber's support team. Why can't you get it?
Yeah, for real.
It's like I'm gonna lie about $100 Uber Eat.
Yeah.
But that's some crazy, man. That motherfucker, and I tipped him. I tipped that motherfucker, and he took our food, man. You know, the gall of that motherfucker that I tipped him to steal our food.
It's an upsetting situation. It is.
Right?
It is.
It's true story.
Yeah,
That's literally just happened.
No, it is. Yeah, it is.
Motherfucker took my tip money.
For fucking around, for not doing shit. You got tipped for being a dumbass.
Yeah, man. I never had that happen to me before. I mean,
so you've never had anybody like up your order before?
Not like that on Uber Eats.
Yeah, in that
Straight
fashion.
up?
No, in that fashion is insane. I've definitely never tipped anybody and then they ran off my shit.
Never.
No. So I guess, I mean, you're right. I've definitely had people miss my order though and say that shit's completed and it's not there at all. You know, not even in the building at all. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know, but I want to assume those people just are eating my food. But then it's like, I assume you can get in trouble for that. But I don't know. Thank God I never had to work in those jobs. So.
Well, you know what, McQueen? You talk about those people.
Yeah.
Racism is wrong. It's just pure and evil wrong. I used to have a roommate, and he kept making Jew jokes at my expense. I got fed up with it. So one day I stole his dog, and I gave it to my friend Tommy Lee, Asian dude, with the hopes he would, make some sort of stew with it. We never saw that dog again. And that's actually Alpha King rule number 503, which states, don't be a racist.
Yeah. I need to see this book, man.
The book? Right
yeah.
here?
Oh, okay, yeah. Because
how to not be a
Oh, okay. I need to see this because I agree with a lot of things you're saying, man. Definitely don't want anybody making any racist jokes at my expense too,
Yeah. Well, because you were talking about those people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I get what you're saying. You're right.
So I want to be a good example.
Yeah. Of course.
I stand against the racism. Look what's happening with the LGBTQ community. Matt Rife, we were talking about Matt Rife, for example, the LGBTQ community. The LGBTQ community is being ostracized because they don't look like the gender they identify as.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I identify as a human male. But many women like to call me horseman or horse cock because the size of my dick is bigger than most.
Okay.
Now, it's bad enough when you have to carry around such a large appendage.
Okay.
But the misidentifying and the name calling only makes things worse.
It does.
And that's actually why Alpha King Nima supports the LGBTQ community. And that's Alpha King rule number 584, which states...
That's a lot of rules.
Yeah. And this one is a special one because it states it's important to respect everyone.
Right.
No matter what. Except the gays. That's fair game.
I agree. You know what? I agree. And I'm glad I finally got to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Because
it's
I've been having some itches lately to not respect the gay niggas. And now that I'm talking with a successful man that has the same views as me, I feel a lot better about it. So,
What'd you think about Kevin Hart, man? He got banned off the Oscars for a gay joke on Twitter or some shit.
At the end of the day...
I mean, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
And that's before the cancel culture of today.
It was, yeah. And it is crazy. I wish I would have screenshotted what I saw the other day, but it was somebody who did the same exact thing, but I believe he was white. Same exact thing. Gay joke, yeah, he's a comedian. Gay joke from like 10 years ago, okay? And now he's doing like something as big as the Oscars, like on some shit like that. No cancel, nothing, right? Now, I don't want to sit there and play the race card, right? But I will say this, that I do think that there's some form of favoritism, whether it be race, whether it be status, whether it be maybe they just like someone better. I don't know what the case is. But when it comes to the Kevin Hart thing specifically, it's crazy, but he's Kevin Hart. What the are you gonna do? I went to actually go and perform at this comedy show in LA. And I was just coming out from doing my set, and Kevin Hart is walking in. And there's 3 rooms in the comedy club. And he, I guess, had rented out one that was like maybe a 60-seater. And because he was practicing jokes for I guess an upcoming special. But he walks in, that nigga's short, bro, short, right? But his star power is so crazy. He walked in the room and it was like a row of 20 like all with fat ass and big titties right behind him. And I'm like, yo, what the and he walked in the room and I had just got done doing my set from the other room. And I walked in, my manager was with me and we're just watching this guy just beat Kevin Hart. And seeing that in person was just like, you can't cancel him. It doesn't matter if he's not doing Oscars. Who cares? It's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And when you see shit like that in person, it's like, okay, I'm not on the Oscars. I'm still Kevin Hart. So it don't really matter. You know.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Dave Chappelle for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
For sure, 100%.
I like Ricky Gervais though too. You?
No, I've actually never heard of him.
Office.
You know what? I've seen The Office, but I don't remember. I don't know the names of the comedians.
What was your favorite sitcom? back in the day.
That's a good. Oh, man. You know what, man? Listen to me. Does Chappelle Show count as a sitcom?
Yeah.
Chappelle Show for sure.
Did you ever watch anything like Seinfeld?
I would tune in to every now and then, but I never watched it religiously. No.
Cosby Show?
Yes, but I think I was a little too young to like remember everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's more my generation.
Yeah. But I definitely love all of those types of like humor though. Like,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
For sure, Fresh Prince. I love the humor that comes from The Office though. I love that like dry, like, satirical fucking humor. I love that shit, I always say this, bro. I think white people are some of the funniest motherfuckers on this planet. I'm so serious, and I don't even think they mean to be. It's like the shit that they do, the shit that they think of, the way they say certain things, like how serious they are about things that aren't that serious is like, to me, funny as
Yeah.
And then obviously when you have white people who are in the comedy space who are aware of that and can like harness that, I think that just makes for like some of the best comedians. And I've learned a lot from white comedians.
Yeah. Who's your favorite one?
Bill Burr. I like Bill Burr.
He's a beast.
Yeah, Bill Burr's a fucking beast. I like Bill Burr. I also like. Now, a lot of people might agree with me on this, but I took some things from him. Pete Davidson.
Oh, wow.
And it's not because he's like a genius at, like he's not like the most genius comedian, but like how he's able to take what he's done and what he's good at and get and like squeeze the most out of it. I think is like, it's just a testament to like, if you are genuinely like, how do I say, passionate about what you do, you can be good enough to have a stamp in the field, if that makes sense.
Facts, yeah. Do you ever have a desire to do movies?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Yeah, that's actually one of the goals.
Do comedy films?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would love to be in something like How High or Friday or...
that's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic, or, obviously like the whole Friday series or just anything comedy related, like...
You see how Chris Tucker just sort of got big and then just disappeared from the game?
Exactly, yeah.
That was sort of wild, huh?
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Like,
but it's super dope though how like, Friday was his start and then now you get Rush Hour and you get paid, I don't know, it was like definitely millions, like 20 something million, okay? And then you obviously do the whole Rush Hour series and now you're just getting paid and now you got stand tours and all that. And now obviously you don't really hear from him, but I mean, it's still Chris Tucker. You know what I'm saying? It's Chris Tucker.
I feel like he just went out like a G.
Yeah.
Like he just did it. He's done.
Yeah.
He walked out.
Exactly. And but you see, like, he still does stand up. I feel like most comedians are always gonna just do stand up, just for the rest of their life because it's just something that, and I can definitely see myself doing that. Like Chappelle, even like before I moved, he was at the Savoy over there in Inglewood, and it's so crazy because you don't hear about him doing these shows, but he's just always doing it, and that's what I want to do, man. Is I want to make a huge mark on this world and make a huge inspire a massive amount of people on this planet, make my mark, and then just have my message through my comedy being repeated through generations. And
he was practicing.
Exactly.
Without people knowing he's gonna be there.
I don't know, man. When I found out that I like making people laugh, I think it was the best thing that ever happened to me,
I mean, you're a master now at making YouTube videos approaching women in the street. Someone who wants to get better with approaching women in the street, if you were to give them just a few words of advice, what would it be to be successful at it?
I would say, I hate the whole cliche be yourself thing because like people used to tell me that shit before, but it's way deeper than that. But I guess what I would say is understand that rejection is needed in order to succeed. You have to actually look for rejection. I would say to look for it more than the success, because when you get used to rejection, everything else after that is. Once you become numb to rejection, the world is really yours. And that's not even just with girls. That's with anything in life. You know what I'm saying? And Michael Jordan says it all the time. I only win so much because I failed 10 times more than I've won. And you need failure in order to succeed because that's where you learn. And it's the same thing with talking to girls. You need to go out there, you need to get rejected, you need to figure out what you did wrong, you need to figure out how not to say this and how to not sound like a how to say it with more confidence, how to, assert yourself, how to say this at this certain time, how to set an impression, how to not be afraid of what people in public that may be looking at you. All those things come from the experience you get from getting rejected. And a lot of people, I think, are avoiding talking to girls or going after anything that they're afraid of in life because they don't want to get rejected in some form. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Once I figured that shit out, that shit carried over in every other aspect of my life. I didn't care about getting rejected in any other way. Putting YouTube videos out and the world rejecting it. Me walking into a room and presenting an idea to a group of businessmen and not being afraid of being rejected for it. It's so many different things that you don't even realize that happen subconsciously. Yeah. They are fixed because of confidence and no fear of rejection. So I would say, to put it in a nutshell, understand that rejection is part of the game and go after it and become numb to it.
Shit, man, that's deep, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming today, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, I apologize the acai bowl didn't come from Pura Vida.
Yeah,
Uber Eats, man. You. I didn't get my matcha latte, man.
Yeah.
Queen came from the gym, man. We were looking forward to it, but it was still a good show.
Yeah,
man.
I'm excited, bro. Listen, man, I'm happy just to be here, man.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you inviting me over for real.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. How can everybody find you? I mean, you already got a million on YouTube. You're already big time, but how could, for people who don't know, how could they find you?
Yeah, you can just follow me on YouTube at Mega McQueen. Just type in Mega McQueen on the search bar, and it'll be the channel that just says McQueen on it with 1 million subscribers. And then on Instagram at THE Mega McQueen. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And everybody, please sign up for my newsletter, howtonotbeabitch.com, where you get previews of my upcoming book, How